And then we're live.
Oh, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Harry, welcome to my channel. Today we're at Hughes and Kettner Headquarters and Rich is going to show me through the Black Spirit 200 combo amp. Now I've not even played the head and today I had about 10 minutes just playing through it before, but Rich is going to show me what it's all about. And just a really quick little thing, it isn't a tube amp, but there's some special technology inside that Rich is going to tell us more about. So let's start with the clean channel.
Yeah, all right. So we took like 5 minutes to dial the sounds in, so show us what you got.
Okay. I mean, it feels great under the fingers straight away.
Yeah.
It feels spongy, but not overly spongy for a clean sound. See, I like my clean, not stiff, but not spongy either, because I'm used to using a old silver phase twin, which is just headroom for days. But that feels a lot less. It's more comfortable to play. Like it's less revealing. In a way.
So you're like, you've always played tube or valve amps before,
always,
right? That's
always.
where you've come from, or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is something quite new for you. Like as you were saying, this is not a tube amp. There's no tubes involved.
Yeah.
But this little red box that we can see here, hopefully, is what we call the spirit tone generator, and that's what's responsible for making all the different sounds within the amp. It's an analog amp, and I've got time to tell you a little story, haven't I? So I might as well.
Do it.
Our main designer is a guy called Bernd, a
Right.
German dude who's been at the company for like 35 years, as long as the company's been together. But he's been working for longer than that on like solid state technology and kind of analog technology that wasn't tube. And what he's been trying to do is get the best sounding and feeling and responding amp, which is not made with tubes, but is analog anyway. And he's been working to get all the different aspects of the circuitry together, like checking out all these weird little things that happen between gain stages and stuff like that. And he's come up with this spirit tone generator, and the Black Spirit 200 head from last year was the first amp that had it in it. And this is the 1x12 combo version, which I think might be a little bit more to your taste anyway, because you're a bit of a combos guy, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that it's a 1x12 is usually a bit scary because you think it's just going to be this tiny boxy thing. But there's porting on this, which helps it sound a lot bigger, right?
Exactly, yeah. Like we have a sister company called HK Audio, and we build PA systems and stuff like that. So we have like a lot of nerdy physicists who work for us and stuff, and they spend a lot of time thinking about how can we make this box, this PA speaker, this cabinet sound as big as possible while taking up the smallest amount of space. And that's what they went for with this. They spent ages going through the different cabinet types, and they settled on this, which is a teal small cabinet. It's called teal small after the two Australian guys who came up with the idea in the 50s or whatever. And they spent a lot of time working on the different kind of formats of things, the different woods, the different sizes and dimensions, the different speakers, and the ports, which are kind of the openings down at the bottom of the speaker there, if you can see that. And this is what they came up with. They tested a bunch of different speakers to see what would sound best, and we ended up with a UK-made Celestion Creamback.
Well, it's good in a way for me that it is a creamback because I use the exact same speakers in my twin, which is 2x12s harking back. So it's a good reference point
there you go,
to really hear what the amp actually sounds like, and of course what the cab sounds like.
Yeah, it's like in a lot of our previous cabs that we did, like the standard TM 2x12s that we do for the Tube Meister and Grandmaster series, that's got vintage 30s in it, which is like an awesome all-round speaker. But we tested, like I said, a bunch with this one, and the Creamback just worked best with the format of the cabinet and with the Black Spirit 200, and just it turned out like this. And
it works. Like, that's the reason why I use it at home, because I love the Greenback because it handles clean well without being too sparkly, so it can actually take gain as well, which obviously this amp has a lot of different gain stage available as well.
Exactly, yeah. And what you were talking about earlier is also interesting, because you mentioned it being spongy and like the feel of it under the fingers. That's one of the hardest things to do with like non-tube amps, is to get the feel right and the dynamics of it. And what we've got here is a knob that says Sagging on it. And that is like, as far as we're aware, we're the first amp company to make an analog non-tube sagging control that lets you control the amount of power amp sag, which is basically how hard you're pushing the power amp section of the amp. So like if I turn that down now and you play a bit, you're going to notice that it's sort of different. I'll twist the knob up a bit as you play, and you'll sort of start to notice like a bit more compression, some overtones, and you'll get a bit more gain.
Okay,
so just play a bit. I'll turn it down first.
Definitely feel it as soon as you dig in. When that setting was high, it's not super dramatic on the clean channel, which is kind of to be expected anyway, but you do definitely feel it. Like you say, it's just a tiny bit of more compression going.
Yeah, exactly.
Which to a lot of people would be great, because so many people play clean sounds with that compression, and if it's simulating a real power amp, then it's better than having a compression pedal or anything like
exactly.
that. It's more natural.
Yeah, and that's how some guys are using it, as a compression pedal or whatever in front of the amp. So there's that control. There's a whole lot of stuff built into the amp as well, which I can run you through very quickly. I guess you've got 4 different channels. Across on the right here: clean, crunch, lead, and ultra, which kind of go up in the amount of gain.
And this is kind of the familiar format for Hughes and Kettner, isn't it? With the little built-in effects and then
the chicken head knob there.
Channels.
So over here you've got the EQ, and above that, the second function of these knobs is the effects. So you've got delay, reverb built in, and you've got 4 different modulation effects: chorus, flanger, phaser, and tremolo. You've got reverb and a noise gate here. The second function of the sagging knob is the cabinet type. So when you're using the Redbox DI, you can choose between 8 different cabinet settings on there.
That's cool.
You guys are not going to hear that today, of course, because we're miking up the combo, so you can get hopefully the best feel for that using an SM57, if you're wondering. And over here on the left, you've got the master controls: presence, resonance, and the master volume. All the settings on all the knobs, apart from the master volume control, you can save in all the MIDI presets up to 128. So if you've got loads of different sounds you want to use, or if you're playing like a functions gig or something like that, and you need different sounds for each song, you can do it with that and just bring up the different sounds with a foot switch.
Which is really cool. So for some people might not be familiar with the resonance control, so maybe we can really quickly show that off while we go to the crunch channel.
Sure. So how would you typically use a resonance control then?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know too much about resonance controls either. I'm a really traditional amp type thing, but from my understanding, it's to do with the bottom end and how it would be in a cabinet, how it responds.
Exactly, 12 o'clock should be about natural for this setup, and as you go left and right or up and down on the dial, you'll notice it start to change tonally. So let me just check on the knob what the setting was. Sometimes, because you've got dual functions on these knobs, you don't know what the actual knob setting is. It might be set to somewhere else. But what you got to do to find that out is you just twist the knob, and if you keep an eye on the store button there, when it lights up like that, you know where the setting was. So we were quite high up on the resonance there. I'll turn it back to 12 o'clock, and you play a bit. I'll turn it down, and then I'll turn it up, and you'll hear the difference.
Yeah, it's adding that bottom end, but it's not flubby or anything. It's nice and rounded off.
Yeah.
Which can be really nice to hear, especially, I mean, for the heavier dudes as well. But when you sat at home, you've got a little bit more bass end going, so it sounds fuller.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. And again, I'm sure that's more evident on like a overdrive channel.
It will be as well. So should we switch across to the crunch channel and have a listen then? All right, so I'll just switch the channel setting here, and we're on crunch.
Yeah, so you definitely feel it more.
Yeah, you could feel how much more low end was coming in as I cranked that up then. Yeah. Should we do the same with the sagging then, so you can feel and hear the difference with that?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll start with it all the way down, then we'll go up.
Okay. Yeah, it's really. I'm not sure how much that will translate. I'm sure that they can hear that over the thing as well, but that's definitely a feel thing.
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
Yeah, and I mean that it was also affecting like the amount of gain.
Yeah.
A little bit as well, but you've obviously got the gain control over here, and there's a whole lot of amount of gain that you can have within this crunch channel itself. Yeah, it's very, very versatile. Yeah.
That's really cool. It's not overly dramatic either, which is nice.
No, exactly. But
Like,
if you want overly dramatic, you can have that. But yeah, we dialed it back a bit for you.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention was there's a boost as well. So every channel has a boost control. The amp sort of looks at the settings that you've got dialed in and takes you sort of to 11. So if you're on the clean channel,
okay.
you get like a clean boost. If you're on the crunch and you're doing like a classic rock rhythm, you might go to a lead sort of a sound, etc. Yeah.
And I'm presuming that's all programmable via MIDI as well, if you want the boost on and off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you've got like, you want 2 sounds for a song, you can just program 2 presets.
Yeah.
The boost kicks in and out. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So shall we quickly do the boost on the crunch channel?
Yeah, all right. And I'll tell you what I'll do as well. I'll do the boost on and off, and then I'll roll the gain down and up, so you can just see the range of gain available just in this one channel.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Tons of sounds in there.
Yeah.
That's without even messing with the EQ much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just had it on whatever the amp was set on before, and it sounded good.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say all the sounds sound good. There's not been a bad sound in there so far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this was a pretty low output single coil Strat type
Yeah,
guitar.
definitely. And I was on the weedy bridge pickup, which my Strats are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, crank a Les Paul through that, and it's going to sound properly different again. Yeah, exactly. Do you want to try the lead channel, or are we already too high gain for you in that territory?
Let's finish off with the lead channel, but let's check, because I'm a huge reverb fan.
Yeah, all right.
Like a huge reverb nerd, using a twin reverb that's all tubed.
Yeah.
It's nice. So maybe if we go to the clean and I play some basic chord stuff and we can check out
all right.
how the reverb sounds.
So that was the setting that we just had it on before, nice and sweet, fairly subtle. I'm just going to press the effects access button there, and that takes us into controlling stuff like the reverb. Where were we on the knob there? I suspect fairly low. Yeah, we were at about a quarter of the way up. So I'll turn it right off, you play a bit, and I'll gradually bring it in all the way up till it's totally washed out.
Sounds really good. It's got a lot of like hi-fi sound, like top to it, which sounds really nice.
Yeah. So that was it maxed out. I've switched it back to about a quarter.
And like we were saying earlier, I always have an issue with a lot of reverb pedals that they drown the dry signal rather than being kind of surrounding it in a way. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But that, because of that presency hi-fi-ness, it doesn't just drench that sound. You can, it sounds like it's wrapping around it almost. Like
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It sounds really good.
It stays kind of subtle where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So it doesn't kind of overwhelm the basic guitar tone coming from underneath. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's the one thing I look for in a reverb, is that it just doesn't drown the sound. Even on the highest setting, it sounded good. So how are we for time? Have we got time to check out the lead channel?
We got time to check out the lead channel. I'm sure we have. There's no one waiting to just shoot a video after us.
Try my best.
No one important anyway. So, stuff. All right, lead channel.
That's all the high gain lead stuff that I would ever be able to play.
You've exhausted your lead tone palette.
That sounds good though. It really does. It's really fun to play as well with that much gain.
Yeah, and again, I think like if you had a humbucker or a quick guitar or something, it might open up a bit more as well.
Again, with the bridge, and it didn't sound too fizzy or weak either.
One other thing we could just look at while we're on the lead channel is pickups like that might tend to be a little bit noisy, but this amp does have a noise gate built in, so let's have a listen to see how that goes.
Just seeing how sensitive it can be.
Yeah.
And that's especially useful, I can only imagine, on the Ultra channel as well. And for the heavier players, like the metal players and the genty stuff, that'd be even better. It doesn't choke it either. The sustain was good, even when I was picking a bit softer, which I guess you wouldn't really do on high gain.
No, you probably wouldn't, but the option is there if you want to do it, I guess. Yeah, and I mean, the cool thing about that noise gate is as well, you can program it into different sounds.
Right.
So, like, you wouldn't want it on your clean sounds or whatever, but if you did switch over to do, like, one lead song in your set or something like that and just have it on for that, then you can do it just like that. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. And stuff like P90s as well, which are even buzzier than Strat pickups.
Yeah, exactly,
would be perfect for.
Yeah, we did a video with Michael Wagner with his, is it a 56 or something? Les Paul Special with two P90s in it, and that it's quite a noisy guitar, but it sounds amazing, and it sounded great with that noise gate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I think we've not looked at everything, but everything that would appeal to me as a player and probably to my audience as well.
Yeah, that's probably all the key stuff. I mean, just very, very quickly, the other things I can think of looking at it. You can use the app with headphones if you want, no problem. So you can play it to all effects silently. And it's Bluetooth compatible, so you can stream jam tracks through it or whatever, the app runs via Bluetooth now. So if you've got an iPad or Android or a desktop editor, you're good to go with that. And you can mess around with all the presets on your tablet or iPad of choice.
So, of course, there's built-in effects as well, but we don't really need to look at them. We've looked at them in the previous video, me and you did, actually.
We did with the Grandmeister, and that is actually a very similar effects engine. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it might be identical.
Okay.
So,
yeah, we did a little shootout of the Grandmeister against a clean amp with pedals.
Yeah.
And it fared really well.
It did all right.
So if you want to see that, I'll pop a link down in the description as well, so you can check that video out as well. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so that was a look at the Black Spirit 200 Combi. This is kind of part one. Oh, hi, Henning. Okay, video's done now. Video's done. Me and Henning cuddle. Oh.
Anyone want to join me on the couch?
No.
They've just cut me out of the video.
It's you're totally going into my time there, Mr. Harry.
I'm sorry.
Which of course the people on your channel would love because they watch your channel, not mine. So more video of you is better.
Yeah.
So you want to do some more? Because I can totally cut it down to like a 5-minute video. It's easy.
No,
my videos are known for being very short.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, of course, yeah. And
No,
what do they have?
Someone in the background's laughing. What the? Why is that funny?
He's thinking very short because people switch off after 2 minutes. That's why.
So go ahead, do more stuff. I'll just ignore you over there.
Shall we ultra channel it for your outro?
Yeah, that's Ultra
you will
channel.
now
Harry
see
plays metal.
Harry Holden Ultra Channel, the Black Spirit 200 combo. I will be over there.
This is not going to be good.
Damn.
Ultra. Ultra. Bye-bye.